What's going on, people? So listen, everybody wants to know, can you get business funding with bad credit, right? If you have a credit score of 500, bad credit, can you get business funding? So the answer is yes and no. Now, yes, you can get business funding with bad credit if you already have a business that's generating revenue, and you can get funding with online lender, private lenders. But the problem is this: the interest rate is going to be high and the terms are not going to be suitable for you. Now, can you get business funding with bad credit with the big banks? That's what I'm going to talk about. Now, just before I talk about that, listen, I have the Funding Academy, right? So in the Funding Academy, I have a list of lenders. Right now, I have a list of grants that I just updated. So listen, if you are trying to get business funding and if you just incorporated your business, the Funding Academy, I have resources that could help you get business funding. Because in the Funding Academy, look, I have, as you can see here, I have training videos. I have lenders. I have grants and lenders. I've just recently updated a grant, and then also I have a question and answer support. So if you want to get in touch with me, this is where you can communicate with me in the Funding Academy. Because listen, you can get funding for a brand new business if you know how to position your personal credit properly. Now, this is the issue that I come across. People think that you can get business funding because you have good credit. No, it's not about your good credit score. Banks don't really make lending decisions based on your credit score. Banks make lending decisions based on your credit report, the way your credit is positioned, how your business is structured, and and then which banks you go with. Because listen, you could get denied for funding even if you have an 800 credit score, right? Even if you have a 750 credit score, you need to know how to position your personal credit. That's why in the Funding Academy, right, I have training videos showing you how to position your personal credit properly, right? So now this is the app, because I also have the app and I have the web browser. I have the web version as well, right? So I'm going to leave the link below to the Funding Academy. It's going to be in the description, and it's also going to be in the comment section. Listen, you can get funding for a brand new corporation. This is no secret. It's not a secret that the banks are more favorable towards corporation than entities that are registered as a sole proprietor or partnership. But you need to know how to position your personal credit properly. It's not about the credit score, because you can have a high credit score and you're still going to get denied for funding. Not only that, there's some credit cards or some business credit card. They will start you with a limit of $1,000. Now, do you really want to get $1,000 for a brand new business? Because once you get those low limit, guess what? You're stuck with them. You're not going to increase it. So that's why, listen, in the Funding Academy, as I said, I have the app, right? It's Funding Academy is a 1-year membership. It's a 1-year, you get in for 1 year, and I have different resources to help you get funding. Listen, my goal is to help you get funding for a brand new business, for a brand new corporation. If you go to the government of Canada, they are telling you that, hey, listen, corporations, if you have a corporation, you have the ability to raise capital. Corporations are the best legal entities in terms of raising capital. So I'm telling you the information that's already out there, that you can raise capital for a brand new corporation. The government of Canada is telling you, the banks are telling you that you can raise capital for a brand new corporation. Not only that, that corporations are easier to raise capital with. But you need to know how to position your personal credit properly, because you can get funding for a brand new business that's not generating revenue, that has no business tax return. You can still get funding for it, but it's about positioning your personal credit properly. And this is what I'm saying. It's not about good credit score, because banks, listen, credit score fluctuates, right? It goes up and down. It's variable, right? Today, your credit score is good. Tomorrow, your credit score is low. Next month, your credit score changes. So banks don't make lending decisions based on your credit score. They don't really care about your credit. Now, there is a minimum credit score that they require before they can proceed, right? If they should even consider your application, right? There is a minimum credit score. Now, listen, in the Funding Academy, I have all these resources, right? I'm going to leave the link below to the Funding Academy. Look at this. I have grants, right? I have a lender database. I have grants that I just posted. I have net 30 accounts for your corporation. So listen, it's about the information and the strategy, because The funding is there, people. The capital is there. Now you need somebody to coach you, to train you. That's why I have the Funding Academy. It's an academy that teaches you how to get access to capital, how to raise capital with the banks, the credit unions, Net 30 account, Net 60 account, vendor credit, supplier credit. You can get all those resources with your corporation once you know the strategy, how to go about it, how to position your personal credit properly, how to structure your business, and which banks to go with. Because I've been saying this over and over. Not all banks give true business credit, because there's some banks that will give you business credit, but it ends up showing on your personal credit, and then it damages your personal credit. So that's why, listen, in the Funding Academy, I'm giving you all this information, right? The Funding Academy this is the academy this is the only academy in Canada that teaches you how to get business credit properly without damaging your personal credit. Because you see, a lot of you're damaging your personal credit, therefore you are messing up your ability to get funding in the future, because you've damaged your personal credit because you've been getting the wrong information. You've been getting inaccurate information that's not helping you. This is what I do. I'm here to help you get business credit. I'm here to help you get business funding for your brand new business. Not just business funding, but how to get Net 30 accounts. Because I have the lenders, I have the links, I have the training videos, I have the app. This is where you can communicate with me, people, right? Because it's not a course that I'm offering. This is an academy. It's a membership for 1 year. The link is below in the description, in the comment. Listen, if you have a corporation, you need to maximize on the funding. You need to know how to milk that corporation, because Government of Canada is telling you, hey, listen, corporations are the easiest entity to raise capital with. The banks are telling you corporations are the easiest entity for us to lend money to. People are telling you that, listen, if you have a corporation, you can maximize on the funding. So you need to know how to play this game, this funding game, this corporate game, getting business funding with your corporation based on how your personal credit is positioned. It's not about the credit score, people, because banks don't lend money because you have a high credit score. You can have a 780 credit score. You can have an 800 credit score. You can have an 850 credit score. You will still get denied for funding because your personal credit is not positioned properly. So this is why I talk about, listen, right? This is why I talk about positioning your personal credit properly. In the Funding Academy, I have training videos, right? Let me show you something. I'm doing this for you, to help you get business funding, because you've been given the wrong information all these years, right? The school system never taught you. They never showed you how to raise capital with a corporation, how to get funding with a brand new corporation that has no business tax return, that has no head office, that has no customers yet, that has no income yet, how to get business funding based on positioning your personal credit properly. It's not about the credit score. The credit score means nothing to the bank, because credit score, it goes up and down. That's one of the many factors that they use when they evaluate your personal credit to lend you funding for your new corporation. Because listen, there is high risk and low risk industry. Are you registered? Is your corporation registered federally? Is it registered provincially? Is it a numbers corporation? Is it is it a name corporation? What industry are you in? Are you in a high risk industry? So there's all these factors that go in, right? Is your corporation up to date? Is your articles of incorporation set up properly, right? So that's why the Funding Academy is here. It's a 1-year membership. It's a 1-year academy, an online school that teaches you. I'm here. And in the Funding Academy, as I said, listen, there is a support. There's the frequently asked questions, right? There is the questions and support. There's the community forum, right? You can ask me questions once you get into the Funding Academy. As you can see here, right? This is where you get to ask me questions. This is where you get to communicate with me in the Funding Academy, right? You can ask me whatever questions that you have in the Funding Academy, and then I will answer, because I'm trying to help you get business funding. I'm trying to show you, I'm giving you the information or the strategy that the school system is not telling you this. Your friends are not telling you this. The banks are not even telling you this information. Online, you're getting wrong information, inaccurate information. That's why I set up the Funding Academy, to help you get funding for a brand new corporation that hasn't generated revenue by knowing how to position your personal credit. You will get denied even if you have a high credit score, because it's not about the credit score. This is what I'm saying. The banks don't care about your credit score. Now, you do have to have a minimum credit score that they require for them to even consider your application. But once you have that minimum, then they can move on to other factors that they're looking at. Okay, is your credit positioned properly? Is your credit report positioned properly? How's your business structured? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you a partnership? Are you incorporated? If you're incorporated, is it a numbers corporation? Is it a name corporation? What industry are you in? Is your articles of incorporation set up properly? So this is what the Funding Academy is about. So listen, the link is going to be below. As I said, I have the link, I have the app, right? So you can download the app, because I've always had the app, because the app makes it easier, because with the app you can communicate with me, ask me questions, right? Ask me any questions that you want once you're in. Get the information, right? Once you get the information, now you can go help the people in your circle. Because remember, you can add directors in your corporation and get more funding, right? Because as I said, everybody's telling you that corporations have easier access to capital. When you have a corporation, it's easy to raise capital. It's easy to get funding. But how do you do it? What is the strategy? You have to position your personal credit properly, not the credit score. Because when I say positioning, I'm not talking about having a high credit score, because a high credit score will not get you approved. The credit score just determines whether the bank should proceed with the application, because you've met the minimum requirement. But once you've met the minimum requirement with the credit score, there's other factors that they're going to be evaluating on your credit report. Right? And this is what I said. This is why I always say you have to know how to position your personal credit properly, because when you apply, right? So that way you get the high limits from the beginning. Because once you get these high limits, it's easier to increase them over time. But if you get the low limits, you're stuck with these low limits, because there's some credit cards that start you up with $500 on the business side. Like, business for $500 credit card? That's a waste of inquiry. Right? So this is what I talk about in the Funding Academy. So listen, I'm going to end it here. As I said, I'm going to leave the link below, because right now, listen, the price is going to go up in April, right? Very soon. So you want to get in, get the information for yourself. Listen, if you're looking to raise capital, if you're looking to get money for your corporation, because once you get that funding, now you can use it for any project that you want. Right? But you can't say that there is no access to capital. You can't say that there's no money out there. You can't say that the banks are not lending money, because you can also use your corporation to get grants, right? Because there's some grants. One of the requirements is that you have to be incorporated, right? If you have a sole proprietor, if you have a partnership, you're not eligible. So this is the importance of having a corporation, having it properly. And that's why in the Funding Academy, I teach you how to keep your corporation in good standing, right? How to keep it in good shape, how to keep it compliant, all right? So to be compliant, so that way you are filing your annual return properly every year. So I have some resources showing, okay, this is what you need to do, because once you get the funding, you need to make sure your corporation is in good standing with with the government, right? So that's why you need to know, okay, what are some of the steps? What are some of the what do I need to do to make sure that my corporation is in good standing, it's active, it's in compliance, that I'm doing everything that I need to do, so that way I can be getting these funding. So that's why, listen, the Funding Academy, this is what I'm here. This is where you get this information, right? This is the app, because there's different resources. There's training videos, as you can see. There's grants at lenders, right? There's ebooks, there's checklists. I'm here to help you get funding, because I've already gotten all the funding that I needed, right? Because you have to have a goal, right? You have to tell yourself, okay, how much funding are you trying to get? Because once you get that funding, then now you can go and use it however you want it, right? Because getting funding, right, you have to talk to the banks, you have to know which lenders to go with, and once you get it, so that's why you have to have a number, like you have to have a goal, like you trying to get 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. It's a strategy game. It's a game of strategy. You have to have the right strategy, because otherwise you end up getting a bunch of inquiries on your credit profile, and then you mess up your credit. So listen, the link is below to the Funding Academy in the description section, in the comment section. The price is going up in April, so you want to get this information. So listen, I'm out of here. I'll see you all in the next video. I am out. Peace.